So this is one of those documentaries on Netflix that when I saw it was coming out, I'm like, ooh, let me hit the reminder on this, right? And I was reminded when it came out, and I'm like, okay, let me give it a couple of days, give people a chance to watch it so I could go ahead and give my thoughts on it. It is a one episode documentary. It's just a tad under 2 hours. I forgot exactly how long it was, but just a little under 2 hours long. And so I made some time and I'm like, okay, this is one of those documentaries where I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch the entire thing without any distractions. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what I was going to expect on this. What I got was really, it was a heartfelt documentary. I didn't really learn anything new. I was around the time when Selena was blowing up, where, she was a huge sensation, right? And being Chicano and growing up in the barrios, and her music was just blasting all over the place. The girls loved Selena, man. I mean, they would dress up like her, and even the guy, the guys, the guys liked the music of Selena, but nobody really wanted to admit it that much because everybody wanted to act like a tough guy. But now that we're older, we're able to say like, oh yeah, she's got some bangers, right? And she does, she does. I like a lot of her music. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Her music in English, I'm not that big of a fan of, but her music in Spanish just kick ass. So I saw the other documentary of, that one chick that ended up killing her. I don't want to, I'm not going to say her name, but that documentary came out, what, year and a half ago? Was it a year ago? I forgot how long ago it was. And that one was pretty interesting. This one here, really caught my attention right from jump because it had Abraham, the father, it had Suzette, it had AB, it had a few people where I was like, oh wow, okay, I didn't know they were actually going to be in this being interviewed. So it had Chris, her husband. Um, so I thought that was pretty interesting. I was like, okay, now they weren't all together in the same room. They were not, which I thought that was cool as well. If you put them all together on a couch, well, I mean, not all of them are going to be together, but if you put some of them together on a couch, I'm like, no, I like the way they did it. It was done very well. They were all in their own individual area, whether it's a house, studio, wherever it may have been, giving their thoughts, their part of the story. I thought it was really good. However, just like I said, there wasn't really anything new, at least for me, that I was like, wow, that's really interesting. I did not know that. There is no controversy on here. Now, I'm not saying you should make a documentary to get through some controversial stuff. It is just a good, heartfelt documentary. You're not gonna get any controversial stuff, any allegations. You're not gonna get into any of that stuff. You're basically just gonna go through her career, her growing up, her career, her blowing up, and her family, the bus, all that stuff. Instead of a movie, you're just going to see it in documentary form. There's a lot of home camera footage that they go ahead and they show, which that was pretty cool. The one thing that I did find interesting is in the beginning of the documentary, it actually goes through Abraham's music career, him and Los Dinos, or at first it was the Dinos, and his struggles in the music industry and why he gave it up And that was pretty cool. That part right there, I did find interesting. I'm like, okay, you start with Abraham and his time in the music industry before he got his kids all involved in music. Outside of that, it was almost just kind of like watching a rerun. Now, the interesting part of it was seeing some of the home video footage and seeing the family members being interviewed. But I'm gonna be honest with everybody. I didn't find anything new. I'm not gonna say this documentary felt flat, but it really didn't meet my expectations, even though I went into this documentary not knowing what to expect. Because I was just kind of thinking to my head, like, okay, what else can they do? What else can they show? What else can they talk about? Is this gonna be a rebuttal to, I don't want to mention her name, homegirl that ended up gunning down Selena, right? From her documentary and everything that she was saying in that documentary, all the allegations that she put out there, right? The relationship that Selena was having in Mexico and things of that nature. Is this gonna is this does this have anything to do with it, like setting the record straight? And no, as a matter of fact, they never even really mentioned her. She is mentioned. I mean, they don't even really get to that. That part of this documentary, out of the whole almost 2 hours, they probably just spend about 3 to 5 minutes on that. Everything else is just her and her career, her growing up with her family, and them coming together as a musical group. So if you're looking for dirt, if you're looking for chisme, if you're looking for slandering or setting the record straight or anything of that sort, you're not going to find in this documentary. If you're just looking for a good, heartfelt story about her and her family speaking about her and their experience with Selena growing up and all of that, then this is the documentary for you. Like I said, I went in this with no expectations. I wasn't sure what to expect. So I wasn't let down. But I did hear people talking about, like, hey, I wonder what it's going to be. I wonder what they're going to show. I wonder what it's just about her and her family and how they got in the music industry and their success. And that's really about it. I enjoyed it. I did. But don't expect a lot of cheese, man. Don't expect any dirt. Don't expect any of the dark stuff. Don't expect anything of that sort. The only thing that I was kind of let down of a little bit is I really didn't find out anything new. With the exception of, I thought it was pretty cool how they went over Abraham's young career in his time in the group with the Dinos and why they switched it to Los Dinos. Things like that I thought was pretty cool. But that was just in the beginning of the documentary. Everything else I've seen, I've heard, it was nothing new. But I'm glad they put this documentary out. I am. For all the new fans, I mean, her music lives on. It is incredible, man. It really is. They have not too far from my house. They have Selena come over. I mean, the group. I think it's called Anything for Selena. There's a couple of groups out there that imitate Selena, right? I think this one's called Anything for Selena. Like once a year during the summer, they'll come and they'll perform. And what's crazy is, yes, of course, you got a lot of people my age going there and checking it out, but then you also got a lot of little girls that are dressing like Selena. Like it's taking me back to the 90s where I'm just like, dang, okay, you got girls that are like, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, dressing like Selena, and they know the lyrics. It's not like just mom just dressed them up like that. All right, come on, we're gonna go watch this group that's gonna pay homage to Selena. Like, no, they're there, they're singing, they know all the lyrics to all the songs, and it's like, wow, it's incredible. Like her music lives on, and I still truck it. I'm a truck driver, and I still truck it, man, bumping her jams every now and then. Her music is so evergreen, it doesn't get old. May she rest in peace, and shout outs to her family and her friends. That is Selena documentary on Netflix. Catch you guys on next one.